I'm Keith Olbermann, and this is The Resistance. As we continue down the path that, to again steal from Churchill, may not be the beginning of the end, but is certainly the end of the beginning, this vital sidebar question: is it also the end of whatever control of himself that Donald Trump has? Is it also the end of his, for want of a more precise term, sanity? And what does that mean about what he does next? Obviously, he could try to fire Bob Mueller. There are three huge roadblocks. By law, only the Attorney General can remove the special counsel. Attorney General Sessions has recused himself from the Russia case, so either you'd have to get Deputy Attorney General Rosenstein to fire Mueller, or somebody below him to do it, or you fire Sessions and put in a new Attorney General to fire Mueller. In short, it all becomes something worse than Nixon's Saturday Night Massacre. Second, also by law, the special counsel can be removed only for, quote, misconduct, dereliction of duty, incapacity, conflict of interest, or for other good cause, including violation of departmental policies, and a, quote, specific reason must be given. And there is ample evidence that Mueller could go to court, sue the Attorney General, could be reinstated by a judge. And there's what Senator Graham, the Republican of South Carolina, said in July. Any effort to go after Mueller could be the beginning of the end of the Trump presidency unless Mueller did something wrong. He also said he was introducing legislation to make it illegal to fire a special counsel without judicial review. But this is less about the practicalities of Mueller and more about the practicalities of Trump, if there are any practicalities. Even before the Mueller news, even as the right-wing propaganda machine convinced its own side that it repelled the invasion and it won the war on D-Day, even after the Corker and Flake and McCain repudiations, Tom Coburn, the former Oklahoma senator, matter-of-factly told the New York Times that Trump would not be abandoned by his supporters because he had fulfilled so many of their most ardent desires. But Coburn had started that statement with what seemed like almost a throwaway line that is, in fact, mightily important. Quote, "We have a leader who has a personality disorder." So what, you say? Some Republicans do acknowledge this obvious thing. Ed Rollins told me last year that I was right, and Trump is crazy. McCain, Flake, Corker, a handful of others have said similar things. So Coburn says Trump has a personality disorder. So what? Tom Coburn is a medical doctor, maternal and family practice, obstetrics mostly, and dealing with new mothers who, as we know, are often subject to a gauntlet of postpartum psychological and emotional issues. Dr. Tom Coburn is not guessing here. It seems as if he's diagnosing. Then, David Brooks, the conservative columnist of the New York Times, wrote another one of his patented, "I'm shocked to find that gambling is going on in here" pieces, albeit with one twist. The Republican senators, he wrote, greeted Trump on Capitol Hill and saw a president so repetitive and rambling, some thought he might be suffering from early Alzheimer's. Well, that's as good an amateur diagnosis as any layman has yet produced. These word salad statements Trump makes, in which he seems to be about to make a point but never quite gets there, and more accurately seems to wind up evoking a free-form word association screening test. That could easily be the result of anything on the spectrum of diseases which deteriorate the brain. We know Democratic office holders are finally waking to Trump's craziness being literal, not figurative. A psychiatry professor at Yale says she's been contacted by half a dozen senators and representatives who are trying to figure this out. There's a duty to warn group of mental health professionals. There's a book. No, wait, there's two books. I forgot mine. And most importantly, there is good old-fashioned public opinion. 2 months ago, Fox News did an actual poll asking registered voters, how well do you think each of the following words or phrases describe Donald Trump? When the word they were asked about was unstable, these were the results. 16% said the word unstable describes Trump somewhat well. 11% said the word unstable describes Trump very well. 33% said the word unstable describes Trump extremely well. That's 60% who think he's at least somewhat unstable. And that's not just a poll of Democrats and retiring Republican senators and you and me. And that's 2 months ago. That's before Houston and Puerto Rico and him calling an American athlete a son of a bitch and the Pence-Trump national anthem stunt and, quote, warmest condolences for Las Vegas and the desperate, crazy, do something tweet from last Sunday morning. We have all encountered somebody who is, let's call it, impaired, not fully connected to the reality around them. Every once in a while we see them in crisis, and their reactions run the gamut. Some break completely and withdraw, some overreact. But it seems to me, and this is only anecdotally, that some small majority do not recognize the danger they are in time. So we may hope that as the indictment process unfolds, Trump belongs to the latter group. Remember that as late as last month, one of his attorneys was telling him that if he cooperated with Robert Mueller, he would ultimately get what he wanted, public vindication about Russia. His attorney Ty Cobb insisted even Sunday afternoon that Trump is still fully cooperating with the special counsel. And you and I may disagree with what's wrong with him and what he would do if he truly realized the net is tightening around him, but we can be certain of this. If you told Donald Trump that the indictments are actually happening and everybody he knows, his advisors, his ex-advisors, his eldest son, his son-in-law, would be indicted and convicted and imprisoned, but he himself would not be, he would simply smile that megalomaniac smile of his and grab a new bag of Doritos. Resist. Remove. Peace. The book of these commentaries, Trump is Effing Crazy, is now available without a referral from a mental health professional, or you can just wait for the premiere of the CBS evening How Unstable Is He News or something.